Welcome back to the Happy Hour, guys. My name is Jimmy Ludwig.
And my name is Mark Aldrich.
Squigs is lensing, and we are at Barrier Brewing Company in Long Island, New York. Oceanside, New York, actually. Speaking of oceans, that's the Atlantic right over there.
That's important to this story because it's only been a few weeks since the train went by.
Long Island Railroad, right down the street. It's only been 10 weeks since a certain hurricane came through, SuperStorm Sandy.
Easy for you to say. These guys have been brewing great beer since 2009. We've been fans since the first time we took a sip. But their story became even more interesting with SuperStorm Sandy.
And look at how crazy this was. Right over here, this is where the water line was. Right there. Yeah.
So that gives you an idea of what these guys had to deal with when they were finally able to get back into their brewery after the storm.
My name is Evan Klein, owner, brewer.
Craig Frymark, co-owner, co-brewer at Barrier.
Sean Redmond, brewer.
We were right in the center of the path of Hurricane Sandy. This is a brand new brewery. We had moved in March, spent 3 months building this place from the ground up. Everything in here is brand new, custom built. I mean, even the screws are like brand new. And we're only about 500 yards from the water. There's a marina, just on the other side of that road there. And our brewery unfortunately took on about 4 feet of seawater throughout the entire space. It was a sea of grain and hops and fans and motors. The most shocking and visibly destructive thing that we saw was 3 of our conditioning tanks right over there were completely knocked over on their sides.
Did you get a lot of help from the community? Were there people that came in and helped you clean up, or?
Everybody was asking to help out. People were coming in the door, some of our customers from Growler Fills, people that have just heard of what happened, friends, family, everybody was offering to help out. At first, we didn't really know how to use all the help because this place was just such a disaster. Little by little, everybody chipping in, we were able to get back on our feet, and then we had some real big help from some other breweries in the industry, specifically Brewery Omagong and the Blue Point Brewery, which brought the Surge Protector together with all the other Long Island breweries.
So here's the story on Surge Protector. After the hurricane, 8 different Long Island breweries came together to brew an IPA, the proceeds from which would go towards Long Island recovery in general and Barrier Brewing specifically. Each brewery contributed 1 ingredient to the mix, and the beer was actually made at Blue Point Brewing. And even if this beer was terrible, because it's for a good cause, you should buy a bunch of it. But it's fantastic, so buy more. Why Barrier Brewing?
Well, we all started as home brewers, and I started home brewing in Long Beach, and Long Beach is a barrier island for Long Island, hence the name Barrier Brewing. As aside from that, it's also, barrier is a cool word.
And yeah, we just think it's got a nice alliteration, Barrier Brewing. In college, I studied abroad in London, and I lived there for a year, and I got into the real ales, the cask beers, and going to the pubs, and just kind of part of that pub ritual of going there after work, drinking these low ABV beers, purely for the flavor and for the social aspect of talking and hanging out. Again, that kind of reminded me about this whole concept of like appreciating beers for the craft, the flavor, the passion that goes into it. So when I came back from there, that's when I jumped into home brewing.
Craft beer in general is a relatively new phenomena, so...
Isn't it amazing that a beverage that's been made literally for millennia is a new phenomenon to a lot of people?
Yeah, it is.
Basically 100% of your business right now is keg beer, right?
Pretty much all of it. We're going to start getting into bottling a little heavier this year.
And how's their beer? Let's put it this way. On their website right now, they list over 40 different recipes that they brew. The day we were there, we got to try several, and every single one of them was a wow beer. For instance, their Le Pete, which is a smoked Belgian-style wheat beer. So interesting, so different, terrific. And what's coming up for Barrier? Well, here's an interesting illustration of what styles and directions they may go in. What is the most underappreciated beer style out there? Maybe it's a beer style that you really want to brew. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and you all say it at the same time. Let's see if it's the same style. Be really interested. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Kolsch.
ESB. All right. And here's one more really interesting hurricane story. As the storm approached their brand new brewery, these guys had just put their first double IPA into the fermenter. And despite the fact that those tanks were surrounded and submerged under seawater, the beer survived. So, Barrier's very first bottle release, available only at the brewery, Submersion Double IPA.
But Every time we try a new beer of yours, it's as remarkable as the last one, if not more so. So I just need to congratulate you guys. I know we all feel the same way. You are one of the breweries that we have had pegged to keep an eye on, to follow, to try everything you put out. Everybody says the same thing, that you guys are the ones to watch. So cheers. Here's to Barrier Brewing, back online. Cheers. Honestly, making some of the best beer that you're going to find anywhere.
Absolutely. I got to pee.